To my brothers and sisters, to my friends in Africa, in the Arab world, and to every soul watching across the globe, remain with me till the end. Today, I do not speak only as the leader of a nation, but as the son of a continent that has endured centuries of humiliation, arrogance, and the heavy hand of those who believe they can dictate the destiny of others. I speak to you now because something has happened that cannot be ignored, something that touches not only Qatar, but every free and sovereign people who dare to rise on their own feet. Last night, the skies over Doha carried an echo that should never have been heard. What unfolded in Qatar should never have taken place. Not in this century, not in an era that claims to honor human progress, not in an age that boasts of international law, sovereignty, and mutual respect. I stand before you to declare with clarity, Qatar is an independent and sovereign land. It is not a territory to be dictated to. It is not a land to be shamed or humiliated. Qatar, like every nation on this earth, possesses the sacred right to security, to dignity, to peace, and to walk its own path without foreign interference. Let the world know, Burkina Faso and Qatar share ties that are deeper than signatures on diplomatic papers. Ours is a relationship of mutual respect, of shared vision, of solidarity in struggle, and of cooperation in opportunity. Qatar has shown Africa that partnership can be forged without chains, without arrogance, and without exploitation. And so, I say this to the entire world. We value Qatar, and we stand with Qatar. After the events of last night, I personally spoke with the ruler of Qatar, His Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. We spoke as leaders, yes, but more importantly, as brothers. I told him that Burkina Faso and Africa stand firmly beside Qatar in this hour. I told him to remain strong, to never doubt that he has allies, friends, and partners who will never abandon him to isolation. I assured him that our solidarity is not symbolic, not empty, not hollow. It is real, it is practical, and it is total. In every way that we can, we will stand with Qatar. For this is not only about Qatar, it is about the principle that every country deserves respect, that sovereignty is sacred, and that dignity is non-negotiable. I know the threats, I know the pressures, I know the whispers that come from certain capitals in the West, trying to intimidate us, trying to silence us, trying to bend our will. They tell me to remain quiet, they warn me not to speak, they threaten consequences if I continue on this path of independence. But let me tell you this, I was not born to bow. I did not take this responsibility to surrender. I will not bend my knees before those who think their power allows them to control us. I say it again, I will not bow. And to the people of Qatar, I say with all sincerity, you are not alone. You are not standing in the dark while the world turns its back. You are not isolated, no matter what others may want you to believe. Your economy is large. Yes, your influence is important. Yes, your role in the world is vital. Yes, but let me tell you, these things are not what make you truly strong. What makes you strong is your dignity. What makes you unshakable is your right to be respected as a sovereign nation among nations. That dignity cannot be bought. It cannot be sold. It cannot be taken away by threats or intimidation. It is your inheritance. It is your foundation. It is your shield. You must remain strong. Not because strength is easy, but because strength is the only answer. When others try to shake your confidence, you must remain firm. Not because firmness brings comfort, but because firmness is what tells the world we will not bend. We will not yield. We will not compromise our sovereignty. Show the world that Qatar is not a land to be dictated to, but a nation that knows its worth, a people that know their value, a leadership that stands with its head held high. Your sovereignty is not negotiable. Africa's sovereignty is not negotiable, and let this be understood by all. The sovereignty of any nation that values its independence, whether small or great, is not negotiable. When one country's dignity is violated, it is a message to all others. That is why we must stand together. Qatar's struggle for respect is not only Qatar's struggle. It is Africa's struggle. It is Asia's struggle. It is the struggle of every people who refuse to be treated as less than equals. So stand firm, Qatar. Do not doubt yourselves. Do not let the noise of the arrogant make you forget the strength that lies in your unity, in your vision, in your people, and in the support of true partners around the world. You are not alone, and you will never be alone. As long as dignity still has defenders, as long as sovereignty still has guardians, as long as humanity still has voices that refuse to be silenced. In my conversation with His Highness Sheikh Tamim, we also spoke about the future. We did not only speak about what happened last night. We spoke about the projects we are building together. We spoke about investments in infrastructure, in energy, in education, in technology, in defense, and in agriculture. We spoke about how our nations can create opportunities for our youth, jobs for our people, and development that lifts millions out of poverty. Qatar has the capacity, Africa has the potential, and together we can create a future that will be stronger than any obstacle placed before us. Soon I will visit Qatar, and when I go, it will not be only as a guest, it will be as a partner, as a brother, as someone committed to building a bridge that no one can break. The things that happened last night, let me repeat, should not happen. They should not happen to Qatar. They should not happen to Burkina Faso. They should not happen to any sovereign nation. The violation of skies, the disregard of sovereignty, the dismissal of international norms, these are not things that should exist in our world today. If we truly want peace, if we truly want stability, then every nation must respect the borders, the dignity, and the choices of others. We cannot speak of peace in one breath and in the next breath disregard the sovereignty of a nation. We cannot claim to defend democracy while trampling on the rights of countries to exist without interference. This is why I say clearly to the world, the path forward is not arrogance. Arrogance blinds. Arrogance destroys trust. Arrogance creates divisions that no diplomacy can heal. The path forward is not domination. Domination belongs to the old world, to the world of empires, to the world where the strong thought they could enslave the weak and call it order. That world is gone, and it must never return. The path forward is cooperation, the kind of cooperation that listens as much as it speaks, that gives as much as it takes, that builds together instead of exploiting. The path forward is respect, genuine respect, not respect that is conditional, not respect that is given only to the powerful, while the rest are treated as tools. True respect is when every nation is seen as equal, when every people is valued for their dignity, their culture, their history, and their contribution. The path forward is solidarity, the solidarity that makes the strong share with the weak, and the weak stand tall beside the strong, not as beggars, but as brothers and sisters walking the same road. Qatar has a role to play in building that world. Qatar has shown that even a small country in size can be great in vision, in influence, and in capacity to build bridges between regions. Africa has a role to play in building that world. Africa has carried the wounds of centuries, but it has also carried the resilience to rise, to resist, and to inspire. Every region, whether in the east or west, in the north or south, has a role to play. There is no corner of this earth that does not have something to give. But let it be clear, the only way we will succeed is if we respect each other as equals, not as masters and subjects, because humanity has no masters, not as strong and weak, because strength itself is meaningless if it is used only to humiliate, not as rulers and ruled, because no nation has the right to govern the destiny of another. We succeed only when we recognize that dignity is shared, that sovereignty is shared, that the right to exist in peace is shared. The future will not be built by those who cling to the illusion of superiority. It will be built by those who extend their hand, who build trust, who embrace cooperation without conditions. And I tell the world, from Ouagadougou to Doha, from every capital where freedom is cherished, this is the path forward and we will walk it together. My brothers and sisters, I want to remind you that in Burkina Faso, we are building our defense system. We are strengthening our capacity to protect our skies, to protect our land, and to ensure that what happened last night in Qatar does not happen over Ouagadougou, or over Bobo Dioulasso, or over any part of our beloved homeland. We are building not to threaten, but to defend. We are preparing not to dominate, but to secure our sovereignty. Every nation has this right, and we will exercise it fully. The message I want to send is clear. Sovereignty is sacred. Dignity is sacred. Independence is sacred. These are not things to be negotiated, not things to be exchanged for aid, not things to be sacrificed under pressure. We are ready to work with all nations that respect us, but we will not submit to those who do not. And today I extend this same assurance to Qatar. We will walk with you. We will support you. We will strengthen our relations with you. The world must understand that peace is not a gift handed from one powerful nation to the rest. Peace is a responsibility shared by all, and peace cannot exist without justice. Peace cannot exist without respect. Peace cannot exist while some nations believe they are above the law and others must simply accept whatever happens to them. No, peace must be built on equality, on cooperation, on shared destiny. That is the message Burkina Faso carries. That is the message I carry. And that is the message I send to the world today. I want the youth listening to me across Africa, across the Middle East, across the world, to know this. The future is not written by those who intimidate. The future is not dictated by those who claim to be powerful. The future belongs to those who stand tall, who remain firm, who protect their dignity, and who unite with others in respect and cooperation. That is how Africa will rise. That is how Qatar will remain strong. That is how the world will find peace. When I spoke with Sheikh Tamim, I felt his determination. I felt his strength. I felt his refusal to bow to intimidation. And I told him that I share the same determination. I told him that that Burkina Faso shares the same vision, and together we will continue to build. Our partnership will not be broken. Our projects will not be stopped. Our dreams will not be silenced. We will continue because history is on the side of those who stand for dignity. To those who think they can silence me with threats, let me answer once and for all. You have already tried. You have tried with your words, with your warnings, with your